Hello everyone, Marla here in my beautiful garden. It's really a hot day today, so we'll see how long we can make this video. I'm already gonna be throwing my hair up probably, but I wanted to share a special friend with you. I grew this beautiful motherwort from seed, and if you've ever grown a garden, especially something from a seed, you'll know how amazing it feels to grow your own. It's just a really cool feeling. So I just wanted to share about motherwort because this plant is really special. It's actually one of the first plants when I got into, plants. It was one of the first that I found wild actually, and it was in a little area. We lived in a neighborhood at the time, and there was an area where a lot of people would throw, mulch or compost or lawn cuttings or things like that, just kind of like a dump pit. And around the little patch of woods, I found this beautiful motherwort shooting up these gorgeous pink flowers, and I'll show you a close-up in a little bit because you're going to want to see these beautiful flowers. So here's motherwort up close, and if you look close enough you might be able to see a bee or two doing some work over there, so we won't disturb that one. But I wanted to show you the most beautiful, delicate, fuzzy little flowers. But don't be fooled because the seed pods actually are a little spiky, so you have to be careful grabbing these because they will poke you. But look how pretty. And I wish I could show you the leaf when it first grows. It looks much different and rounder, closer to this. And then as it grows, the leaves get longer and pointier. It's really cool to watch it change and evolve as it grows. But I just couldn't help but want to know what it was. And it turns out it's one of the most medicinal plants. It's been used throughout history from a lot of different places for a lot of different things. So, motherwort. The Latin name is Leonaris cardiaca, which I think is really cool when the Latin name kind of can give you a hint as to what the plant could be beneficial for. So right off the bat, we know by the Latin name that it is really beneficial for the cardiovascular system. So it just has like an affinity for the heart in general. And affinity just means it really tends to work really, really well with the cardiovascular system. So when we think about this, in what way is it going to help your cardiovascular system? So if you are feeling anxious, repetitive, circular thoughts, you're going through, all sorts of anxiety symptoms, so shakiness, spasm-like feelings in the muscles, rapid heartbeat, sweating, a lot of the things that tend to accompany anxiety. So the cool thing about this herb is it is really calming for anxiety, but it's not sedative. So it's not like a stronger herb like maybe valerian, where it's going to make you feel like you're ready to take a nap, although sometimes that is what is really needed. But this herb helps kind of just give you a deep breath and bring you to a baseline of, okay, now your body isn't overreacting so much, where you can actually breathe, release the shoulders, release the jaw, get some tension off the heart, and just kind of really help with that sense of calm. So the next amazing uses for this plant are for the female reproductive system. So it has emmenagogue properties, which is a fancy word for helping to increase and stimulate blood flow. So you may know, if you're a woman, if you've been around a woman, or you love a woman, or you were raised with women, that PMS symptoms can be really challenging to deal with. And it doesn't have to just be PMS, it can be anything hormonal related, hormonal changes or shifts related. So menopause, premenopause, during menopause, postmenopause, anybody that's bleeding, or if you're not bleeding, it can actually help stimulate and bring on the menstrual flow. But the reason why that this action is so beneficial is because so many problems come up from lack of blood flow in our reproductive system. So endometriosis, you might know that I've struggled with that in the past. Cysts, fibroids, PCOS, lots of emotional issues that could be stored in the womb that haven't had a chance to work their way through. So just this action of stimulating flow and getting things moving is so much more powerful than we realize when we can see that by actually getting things moving, we are relieving a lot of the issues that come from stagnation in the blood. So a lot of pain and cramping and moodiness and all of the things that tend to go along with the PMS symptoms. So definitely a woman's herb for sure. And something is telling me that I definitely need to start taking this on a regular basis now that I'm just talking it through with you guys. So, and I would say one of the most profound benefits of this plant isn't so much how it works. Yes, it works on a very physical level to lower blood pressure, lower the heart rate, ease the muscle tension, but its ability to provide emotional support. And specifically, I think I'm getting bit a little bit by laying here, sitting in here, but specifically with just going through any type of emotional grief, loss, depression, sadness. I don't think it's no accident that this plant's name is Motherwort, because it has a very motherly type energy about it, and its ability to just really give you that comfort when you need it, when you're going through a really rough time. So we think of a plant on a physical level, but also on the energetic level, and its ability to help us on the emotional level too. And ultimately, so many issues really do stem from emotional imbalances. So in my mind, it only makes sense to utilize plants in this way as well. So, and I always like to say there's so many more benefits than just the few that I'm mentioning here. There's a lot of different actions the plant has, and not to mention the way it's going to react in your body. But in general, I think those are some of the main ways that we've seen this plant really shine. So what we're going to do is I actually went ahead and gathered a whole bunch of the flowering tops, and this is very proud to show off my first basket that I weaved out of honeysuckle and grapevines collected on our property. Very cool. So I went ahead and started harvesting the top, maybe third portion of the flowering plant. So you really want to harvest it when it's flowering. That means all of the energy and medicine is up in the leaves and the flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest just a few more of these. And then what we'll do is I am going to go ahead and have a nice 32-ounce mason jar here. And this is really simple. If you have the fresh plant available to you, awesome. If you can get this dried, that is good too, but really we want to prefer fresh when we make a tincture like this. So what we're going to do, start with the mason jar, and I'm not going to show it all on camera, it'll take a little time, but basically I'm just going to, I'm going to chop these flowering parts in just real small pieces. And everybody has their own way of making tinctures, so if you prefer to maybe blend this up in a blender, you can totally do that. I don't think it's totally necessary, as long as you have scissors and you can chop them up nice and small. And then I think this goes without saying, but remove any leaves that might be brown or looks like they got eaten by insects or something. We want to stick with the nice looking ones. So what we'll do is we'll fill this jar to the top, and then I'll come back and show you what's next. All right, so now we have our jar nice and full of the plant material. I do pack it down just a little bit, but not too crazy, because you want room to fill it up with alcohol. So that's what we're going to do next. Also, I'm going to mention, I've mentioned this in other videos that I've taught how to make a tincture. But if you don't want to end up with this much tincture because you do only take drops of it, of course you can use a smaller container. So if you wanted to use a half-size jar or even a smaller one, like a 4-ounce, but just make sure whatever container you're using, you're able to fill it up all the way with your plant material, and then as well as your alcohol. So you guys, it's super simple. If you watch my other videos or if you've learned anywhere else how to make a tincture, I'm using 100 proof vodka. You can use a different kind of alcohol, but 100 proof works really well because it's 50% water, 50% alcohol. It's a really good mix. So it's literally this easy. Whoop, if you don't get too excited like I do. And I'm just covering my fresh motherwort with 100 proof vodka, and I'm spilling it everywhere. But it is important to fill it all the way to the top. So typically I'll probably grab like a knife or something or a spoon and kind of mix it around to make sure that we don't have too many air bubbles in there. But I'll go ahead and do that later. But yeah, the basic idea is all done. Cap it. You're going to want to label it, of course, so you remember what's in it. And I typically let my tinctures sit for about 6 weeks. I try to shake them every couple days if I can remember. And then, just say some prayers over your medicine. Intention when you make medicines or when you make anything, I think is really, really important. So where your heart is at when you're making it and what you're making it for. So saying prayers over the medicine that it will serve its purpose of, easing anxiety, easing grief, coming alongside you with a motherly-like energy, to help to comfort you in that time of need, I think is really cool that a plant can offer that. So what we'll do from here is in about 6 weeks, we'll strain out the plant material. We're going to bottle up the remaining alcohol that is now infused with motherwort. And then from there, you're going to distribute it into dropper bottles, and you'll take anywhere from a few drops to a dropper full at a time. So you're not going to use all of this very soon. Of course, you only take little drops at a time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video learning a little bit about our beautiful motherwort. Let me know if you've ever used motherwort, if you've noticed a benefit, if you notice a difference, or if you have any questions. I try to go through a lot of information quick because it's so hard to fit everything in a short video. So if I missed something, which I probably did, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.